India, a place of diversity, unity, and freedom. For the outsider looking in, India would be considered as exotic, but for the insider speaking out, they precisely know that all the above qualities come with a price. Something which people still follow after independence. A system so old and rigid that even questions if do you even have independence after all. A system which may or may not die. Yes, you have guessed it, the plague of society, the caste system. The caste system for the uninitialized can be compared to racism or any other socially discriminatory system meant to divide the people based on profession. It is a hereditary system which goes from generation to generation without change. This system was the strongest in the pre-independence era, where you weren't even allowed to rise in the hierarchy even after a change in profession. But after many well-known freedom fighters took a stand against the system, one can clearly notice that its power has been reduced. Irrespective, the system lives on even today, as people are compartmentalized and placed into the various hierarchies of the caste, but in a more weakened form. Hence, to get a deeper insight of the caste system, we decided to interview Dr. Balachandran G, who has been living since the pre-independence era. Being of the age of 71, Dr. Balachandran G clearly has seen both sides of the coin due to his immense experience working in a bank as an accountant while currently being retired to teach children on various subjects from the branch of commerce. So, according to you, what is the caste system? Have you ever been subjected to the system?
See, caste system originally formatted from the nature of the book. Say people now, especially India is concerned, mainly it is an agricultural country. And more than 80% of the persons are engaged in cultivation. So it was their profession as institutions. And economically, in those days actually, landowners and actual workers. The workers according to nature of work. So they have been classified into different categories. So this actually gets ultimately changed into caste systems based on their
Professions. Right.
yeah.
Okay. Alright. So, caste system is based upon the division of profession. Research and the Hindu Shastras say that caste systems stem from Hinduism. Why would a religion caste a system based on profession?
Caste system mainly is originally it is not out based on profession. And still, say profession, those purposes were known in olden days. So according to their how they are keeping their or making their food, education, hunting, and other things. In that way also, say the profession or the nature has been changed. Let's say say categories are different categories. And it is not good to say the everything has a name should not be discussed. Anyway, this on. And another aspect is in those days, those categories of people classified, the farmers or the cultivators, they are hereditary, they are starting workers are still they are workers, their parents and their say parents, children, grandchildren, and the subsequent the entire ancestors were going on, say farmers only. And that's why still up to even say democracy obtaining the say independence of India, say mainly people were engaged in this profession. And in those days, say education is concerned, education is available only to a certain categories of people, like rich people, landlords, etc. And these poor workers, so actually they are hardly working for their food, and therefore there is no time for education, and the importance of education were not known to them. And rich people were there, and education facilities are not available nearby the residents of the locality.
Right.
So people were used to go either distant places in different states, and those who are rich, they can go in abroad. And that is only very few people can afford it.
Right, right.
And therefore, see, those categories, the poor people who are the workers, say education is concerned, they're absolutely nil or
Right.
zero.
Right.
And after that, say after the independence, they will be not independence only. Say they were taught why education is necessary and how they can be improve their life, etc. And then what is so after independence, say the education, especially primary education up to fifth standard, it became compulsory.
Hmm.
Whether rich or poor,
Hmm.
or whether healthy or ill,
Right.
compulsory the children should be sent for the education, basic education,
Right.
just for say reading and writing.
Okay.
Still, it was very tough in those days. Say people were saying 1 year or half year, middle of the period, they will stop and then go for some job,
Hmm.
child work, etc. In those days, same medical, other work. Even children, they were used, they will do according to what they can do.
Right, right.
Therefore, education have been neglected there also.
Hmm.
Then later, say the government of India after independence, they made it compulsory and to attract those people. Why they are not coming for education now? Why? Because say food is not there.
Right. Right,
They
right.
have to earn something and from which actually even those days the wages remuneration was in the form of kind, not in cash in those days.
Hmm.
Therefore, it is very essential to earn something for their food.
Right.
And so therefore, say the government after independence, they have given some attractions to those, say, free food for what is called the poor children. In schools, they are
Yeah,
free
below
food is
poverty
there.
line, BPL.
You know why? So at least,
They'll be sent to school.
say, at least interesting on that food, they will come to the school.
Right, right, right.
Even though not for education purpose. Mainly in those days.
Right.
And later it has become an attraction. And even the primary education up to fifth stage has been enhanced to 8th standard.
Right.
Then now it is up to 10th standard. Now, say even this to have legislation and have say education purpose, employment opportunity.
Hmm.
Say the cultivators and that category always along from birth to death they will be on the land
Right.
and their manual work.
Hmm.
So it is very essential necessary to change
Hmm.
that situation. And to that changes what they made is they made say for employment opportunities. So they have been taught the need and the importance of education. What are the purpose of education and how it can improve their life, their mode of life, etc.
Right.
Then, so getting employment and higher educated persons, they will get more employment chances and opportunities. Now, that even though it is not up to that level expected, but still for reaching even in India, you can say the high level officials, say from the low caste people. So they have been there.
Okay.
And not only that, they are giving preferences for their employment
True.
and they are given, say, what is called the surplus mark for their passage
Hmm.
and say even employment, a certain portion is reserved for them.
True.
And suppose, say, the qualified required education is not here, they have been given some concessions
True.
in those days also. Okay? Now that's why it is in all the field, any employment field in say official field or bank field or any other field, you can see that say those persons, say who are literally the farmers, unhealthy and illiterate, they come up, the children have come up and they are already in the say standard and high positions.
Right.
Even in politics, you can see so many below that low caste people. They have come to say the position of ministers and the state ministers, central ministers, etc. Because the introduction and necessary say the what is the improvement which is taken by the government of India.
Right.
So many policies have been implemented and it have been introduced and they have seen that it is implemented and worked out. But still, a category is there, say, to be improved a lot, especially in what is called the, say, people who are residing even in forest and nearby forest people. Say their livelihood in the olden days, tribals, etc.
Yeah.
And their education. So they are also not properly educated. Some people are there, but it is very few. You can count in numbers. So very few people are from the tribal areas. Now
Okay.
it has also been improved.
So you're trying to say that religion had no hand in this, in the creation of caste system.
Really is.
No, religion had no hand.
Actually, the religion comes after the applications. Then they only made. Say those people for the landlords, for services, for related to God and the priest, etc.
Right. So they only made the caste
They
system.
only
The
made.
people made the caste system,
People made it.
not the religion. Right. According to history, caste system was a very strict system which didn't allow anyone to progress further or higher up in the hierarchy of caste, even if they changed professions. Why is that?
This is not true.
Okay.
Because people, you can be all the fields of employment and even say military sector. You can see very high position people are there from the job caste system.
No, I'm talking back in the old days,
Oh, yeah.
in the past.
The past is actually, this is past actually, there is no scope at all.
Right.
Because there were no provision and people were not encouraged them to come up. You know why? Because, suppose the landlord, say they are very lenient towards the workers and they insist them, say their kid go for an education, study and thing. Say then they will suffer because workers will not be there in the land.
Okay.
To a very great extent, that is happening nowadays. So educated persons, they are not ready to cultivate, to go to the land for cultivation. So therefore, say that is actually a system of education that adversely affect the progress of cultivation to a very great extent. Now, it has been avoided by mechanization of cultivation, etc. But still, manual labor is essential. For which actually the white collars they prefer always white collar employment than they or field. In the field actually cultivation means they have to go to the paddy field. So people don't like, especially educated persons.
Alright.
And if suppose they are adequately given the wages and say comfortable lifestyle, etc. there, they will no one looking that one, no doubt.
Right. I can understand that. So back in the day, they used to do that because they wanted people to work, so they can have a better economy or infrastructure. Right. Understandable. So in modern day India, which is more advantageous, being part of a lower caste or being part of a higher caste?
Say modern trade for the national development is concerned. Say that religious bifurcations or caste bifurcations don't be better.
Right.
You know why? So there are very brilliant people are there in the low categories because there is no opening for them.
Right. Right.
And say others who are on the upper level, they don't want to say get those persons on the upper level.
Right.
Therefore, say this system should be eliminated. And you should give all opportunities even to the
Low
low caste people.
Right. Right.
That's why say so many incidents are happening. Even yesterday they were happening in say low caste system people, and they are fighting with the high level people,
Right. Right.
high level people. No?
Right.
This is UP, Bihar, and other categories, other regions. So by particular, so many castes were what's the fight. Yesterday, you might have seen in the paper.
Yes, I did.
Say all this should be eliminated.
Right.
The thing is, that you should give all the opportunities and facilities which are given to the other categories of people also.
Right.
You cannot eliminate those people and from all these facilities. You should say better facilities should be provided to those categories, those low caste people. to come up.
Right.
Definitely there will be very efficient persons, they will come.
Right.
And even in, say, you take the political history of India, you can see low caste people, they have come up to the very high level. Even in say militaries also.
Hmm.
So you can give opportunity for them.
Right.
They'll be more brilliant than the other persons.
Right. Right. Right.
Therefore, say for the development of the nation, you should not take these bifurcations of caste system, religious system, or color, black and white.
Right.
Say such which is not required.
It doesn't
And
matter.
it doesn't matter that you should not have such a bifurcation.
Right. You should not have such a classification. Right. Okay. If recently there's low caste are given reservations, backward classes are given reservations and all that, but doesn't that seem like giving the low caste more priority than the higher caste?
See, that's what I said. Say a reservation, they got reservation.
Yes.
But even though a reservation is there, say qualified persons are not there.
Right. 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 There's no qualified for people to take their reservation.
You know why? You are suppose you are you are 40% reservation is there, and 40% seats will be there, and so you can take only qualified persons. Yeah, so an education employment for a qualified for a graduate person. You cannot give a fifth standard for qualified person for that person.
Right. Right. Right.
So therefore, what you have to do is you have to keep reserve the seat, and you are not allowed to take, or you should not give that opposite into the high qualified persons or say high caste people,
Right.
lower caste people, and those resources should be provided and should be open for those persons, and you should give provision for them also to come up, say proper education, and you should give opportunity for them to get those qualifications.
Right.
And say after say such systems come up, definitely one day will come, all are equal.
Okay.
Educationally, health-wise, and the treatment social-wise. In that case, actually, you can avoid these complications.
So a day will come when everybody's
Definitely,
equal.
it should come.
Right.
And say you cannot keep idle. Okay, one day will come to such a position. No, no, no.
Should keep working towards it.
You should give provisions for those people to come up.
Right.
In education, you should be given preference for them. And in fees or education, say they should give. In education also, some seats must be reserved for them. Say, especially in say medicine professional educations and high qualified, what is called post graduation educations, etc.
Right.
Now, say mass reservation. Suppose say the qualified person 90% is required. Say those people, the low cost people, they will be given only 50%.
So I can understand that. Right. So it doesn't matter from which caste you're coming from.
Doesn't matter.
And the backward people should be given the reservation.
Definitely. Otherwise, say the educated person, high qualified person, they are bifurcating, say the other people inefficient and efficient. That inefficient, efficient can never be on the basis of caste.
Right. So because the high caste already has the access to such amenities.
Because actually they have been given even from child, all the facilities are there, child youngers.
Right.
But those people actually, their food is not adequate and conditions are not adequate. So culture is different. So that are the factors that decide a person, make a person. No?
Right. Those are the factors which build up a person.
And say to such a building conditions are not there for the low caste people.
Okay. What happens if the low caste people are just rising up due to the reservation and not actually working for the reservation?
See, that is actually a very important factor. We said some concession, some reductions, and allowances should be provided for them.
Yes.
But so there, actually, through that concessions, say those persons may not be brilliant.
Working to the max. Right. They might not be efficient. They might be just rising to the reservation. Right.
In that case, actually, they should be given that position. Only you have to see that those persons are able to say to see that position, to manage that position.
Right. So reservation is, in other words, like a two-edged sword.
So a reservation must be there, and you have to see at the same time they are capable.
Right.
Suppose they are not capable, you should make them capable to manage the position of that.
Right. can understand that. So in free India, they said caste system is abolished, but is it the government making the caste system alive using reservations, or is the people keeping it alive?
In the caste system, it is not abolished.
It's not abolished.
Suppose a politician says, no caste system in India, it is not right.
Right.
And you can see that marriages.
Yes.
Say people, what are all advanced people, they will say, no, he is not of my category, or the caste is different. Say, I won't give my son to that girl, or I won't give my girl to that boy because he is a different caste.
Right.
That is it. Suppose a situation should come, that's what I said, that a situation should come, that all are
Given equal opportunity.
equal opportunity, and in such cases, say caste system will be abolished.
After that insightful interview, we decided to hit the street to find out the general pulse on such a disturbing topic.
What are your thoughts on the caste system?
Caste system is like kind of backward. Like after 70 years of independence, we still have the caste system thing. This is like kind of backward stuff. Like we still have it everywhere. Like for example, while I'm going to write the entrance exam, the people of the lower caste have more chances of getting into an entrance college. It's like independent of their economic status. That's the thing.
Have you ever been subjected to the caste system?
Yes, of course. Like me and my friends, we were going to like write an entrance exam within 5 days. So like the people of lower caste are going to like more opportunities than us. So it's like kind of unfair. So like yes, we are being caste system in a different way.
Alright. According to you, should anybody be given the privilege or should they earn them?
I guess people should earn the privileges because like getting the privileges, like I don't know what to say, but it's like but definitely one should earn their privileges. That's when it makes sense, and that it's the point when you make like they don't take it for granted stuff.
Later on, we decided to also try asking from household to household, hence ending up with the last two interviews.
So what are your thoughts on the caste system?
Actually, caste system divides the society. But one we have to go through, each and every individual will have a different religious aspects, and each and everyone has to go through that.
Right. Have you ever been subjected to the caste system?
Occasionally I have to go through that. I am a Christian by birth, and I have to go through that. There are situations that I have to face when I was doing pre-degree. Actually, it was a discrimination towards me as a Christian.
As you are being discriminated by the caste system, do you believe that anybody should be given the privilege or should they earn them?
I told you just now that I have gone through a discrimination, and actually it creates a different kind of society, divides a society, and people who undergo that only will be able to know how far and how it has affected them.
So, what are your thoughts on the caste system?
Frankly speaking, caste system segregates or separates people. I believe in unity of the people, that is the strength of a nation.
Alright. Have you ever been subjected to the caste system?
In several occasions I have been subjected to caste system, especially during my graduation days. Because I am a Christian, I was denied of certain privileges that other children used to enjoy.
According to you, should anybody be given privileges or should they earn them?
If speak about that. Some are born in rich families, some are born in poor families. So giving a helping hand to the deserving ones, I agree some privileges has to be given, because India is second largest populous country in the world, and it constitutes still with a lot of unprivileged people even around us.
After parsing through the evidence gathered about the thoughts of the public on such a matter, one can clearly understand that the public has had enough with the caste system. In fact, they're waiting for an opportunity to seize proper freedom. We can only hope for that day to come upon us soon, so that our future generations won't have to live in such a society governed by a system which can't be seen but can be felt.